Greetings, everyone. In this video, I wanted to tell you some more about a particular set of our ocean books, which is on seabirds, and in particular, on seabird eggs.
Water birds are a fascinating group of birds that have in common the fact that they are supremely adapted to living in, around, and over various bodies of water. Some make their homes in ponds, lakes, or rivers, while others spend most of their lives traveling across the great expanses of open ocean.
So there is a wide range, a great diversity in water birds. And some, for example, these great crested grebes, can look for reed beds and use the materials to build nests and lay their eggs on them. But other birds use completely different strategies, and oceanic seabirds have a wide range of strategies for how they lay their eggs and rear their young.
Our first book in the Seabird series is designed to be a read aloud, or a shared read, and it features 5 different species of seabirds and gives a glimpse into the challenges that they face and the solutions that they have for where to lay their eggs and caring for their eggs. Of course, this is also a human story, as humans have had a major impact on seabird colonies around the world, and humans in recent years have worked hard to help seabirds survive and flourish. So in this video, we're going to talk to someone we've met before, Linda Elliott of the Hawaii Wildlife Center, and we're going to talk about one particular seabird species that has found a way to not only survive but flourish in urban Honolulu, which is the most populous place in the Hawaiian Islands. So, Linda, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us today. So, to start out with, I was wondering, can you tell us a little bit about white terns and the challenges that the parents have in finding a place to lay their eggs and taking care of their eggs?
So white terns are absolutely stunningly beautiful and fascinating seabirds. And what's really surprising and unique about white terns, and in Hawaii, the Hawaiian name is Manu Oku, and they are culturally significant because they roost on land, and they raise their offspring on land, and then they fly short distances out to sea to get feed, small fish and squid, to bring back to their chicks. So because they're so tied on a regular basis to land, Hawaiian travelers would sight them and know that they were close to land, and if they followed them, it would lead them navigationally towards lands. Polynesian Voyaging Society helped with getting them created as the Honolulu City and County bird. And they're the only native seabird that can be easily seen in downtown Honolulu, any native bird, period. And they're only on the main island of Oahu. They're also found in great numbers on the northwestern Hawaiian Islands, but as far as the inhabited islands, it's only on Oahu, and their numbers have been growing over the years to a couple thousand now. And you're walking down a 4-lane boulevard, and in the middle of the median, you'll look up into a tree, and there are Manu Oku, white tern, nesting with ambulances and trucks zooming by underneath. So it's just absolutely amazing that they adapt to an urban environment so well, and they're so beautiful to see. And people will call them fairy terns, which is actually the name of another seabird. But just because they have that angelic look to them, being white and hovering over you with these big black eyes that look at you. So they're amazing birds, and they can be readily seen. But the other thing that is just absolutely amazing about them is they don't make a nest. And so you're like, well, where do they lay their single egg? Well, they find a depression on a branch usually, and you'll see the adults coming into a branch, and they're scoping it out, and you'll see them walking along that branch, pattering with their feet, and then they'll patter in one area, and it's like they're finding the right depression, and it's usually where a branch had fallen off, or where there's a scar or a bend that would stabilize the egg once they lay it on a bare branch. And then they lay the egg and start incubating it, and then they switch and share incubation, and that requires standing up, moving without knocking the egg off, and getting resituated, the other parent coming on to sit, which is just amazing. There is nothing holding it other than they've chosen a depression. And if they're a new parent and they don't quite get it right, well, the eggs don't stay and they'll fall. And then they've got to learn and try again. Well, the other things that can happen is, during this transition, if it's a stormy, windy day, that can throw the egg off. And then the other thing that can happen is if a rat goes down the branch and, terrorizes the parents off the egg and then knocks the egg off. But for the most part, these parents are really good at keeping their egg on the branch. And then the moment the chick hatches, the chick has to hold on because there is no nest. And they have these little web feet with great little nails on the ends of the toes that help them grip. But again, they're at risk of all those same things that the egg experienced at that time. So it is just amazing that these beautiful little birds have this unique nesting and that their eggs make it.
Yes, it is. It's amazing. And I mean, the next time we talk, I talk about the chicks, but I will refrain from asking you too many questions. But they have to be pretty much the cutest little fluff balls with so much. It's like every picture I see you send out, they all have so much personality.
They are. We just got another one yesterday, and it was and you think we would get over the awe factor, but it came in. It was just a day old. Still had the egg tooth. This little bright white fluff with the different markings, and it just looked at us, so bright and alert, and so full of personality, and we all just melted. It was just like, oh my God, this one is just, but we have 15 others, but they are all, it couldn't be cuter.
They all have their own character.
Yeah, so they are the most adorable. And I think that's why the citizen science group on Oahu is doing so well, is people just get really attached. The parents have personalities, they have dramas. With white terns in Hawaii, they nest year round. And so there are high peaks like in March and later in the year where you see more, but they can nest year round with the conditions here, and so they do. So there's always chicks to be found, and that makes it a lot of fun to follow these guys on a regular basis.
We will pause here for now, but in a future episode, we'll share more of our recorded conversation with Linda Elliott. In that conversation, we will shift from discussing one of the smallest Hawaiian seabirds to one of the largest. We're also developing a series of seabird chick books to follow the seabird egg book, and each book will feature one species of seabird chick and tell the story of how it grows into an adult. And one of the first of these books will be on manooku, or white tern chicks. But for now, if you would like to learn more about manooku, there's a great little book about them called Hawaii's White Tern, Manooku, an Urban Seabird by Susan Scott, which is published by the University of Hawaii Press, and you can order it from your local bookseller. If you want to stay up to date with the manooku and all the other native birds that are being cared for and then released by the Hawaii Wildlife Center, be sure to follow their Facebook page for updates and photos. And finally, if you'd like to stay up to date with our progress on ocean books and curriculum, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you want to help support the development and publication of our ocean books, you can become a patron on our Patreon's page. I'll put all the links below. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch our video, and we'll see you next time.